Guys, what's up? My brother Kid here coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Comic review time. How's everybody doing? Got a few comments for you guys today. This was a good week. This was a really good week for comics, most definitely. Oh, also, before I get into it, for all you guys out there that do follow my stuff and also follow the YouTubers 3, there's a video up, guys. The expansion team is here. We did a video last night. We were just goofing around, but we also got into it and talked about certain cartoons that are coming out next year. And we got a pretty decent cast, pretty much the extended team, and it was really fun to work with everybody again. So if you don't mind, go to YouTubers 3 channel, check it out for yourself if you subscribe them or not. But for you guys that are here for the comic review, let's kick it off. So as always, October is around, and as a lineup, I always like to change the lineup how I present the books. So it'll be DC, Independent, and we'll end with Marvel. And we're gonna kick this off with none other than Batgirl, number 13. That is a badass cover. You see the cover? It actually folds in and out. It's got Joker's face, and then it's got Batgirl's face. This is the end of Nightfall. Miss Gail Simone and Ed Benz, one of my favorite artists, takes the realm in this. This is the prologue, as you could say, to Death of the Family. And Gail Simone is still no slouch when it comes to Babs. She does a very good job of ending this story, but also leaving it with a sense of there's more to come from this. Um, as we all know from the last issue, issue 12, Babs was stabbed. She's by Nightfall pretty much, and it didn't look dire need for her, but let's just put it like this, she fought through it. She was able to succeed in what she needed to do, and just leave it at that. I mean, but Miss Simone just does a very good job of telling a good story. I talked to Miss Simone a couple of weeks ago, and I told her about her work, and just told her just keep up the good work with Batgirl. She does a very good job at with Babs. I can understand why she's one of Miss Simone's favorite characters. All right, so we'll move on to this was my mentor's book of the pick of the week. Batman, number 13. This is starting the death of the family. Oh man, Snyder and Greg Capullo. It's got real with the Joker now. Joker is back, and let's just say this Joker now is a lot different. Not even a lot different. He is kind of a thinking man now, and he's getting to the family where it hurts in a sense. Um, and he's going from Commissioner Gordon to it just gets crazy to the point where Bruce has to tell almost the entire Bat family, he's here. You know, I love how Alfred said, "You really didn't think he would be? You really think he wouldn't been gone, sir? Did you?" And Bruce is like, "No, I didn't, but I didn't expect this from him." Um, how does the Joker look now? Because remember we last saw back in Detective, what happened? He got his face ripped, cut right off by the doll maker. Well, let's just say he looks, I would say, a mixture between Leatherface and somebody else. I'm trying to think of somebody else, but definitely, he just really torments Gotham. Period. The people and Bruce's allies. Period. I mean, it comes to the point that Bruce is calling. I mean, Dick calls like, Bruce, is it real? He's back. Tim calls. It's like, wow. It was crazy. But sorry about that. Uh, it basically ends with a sense of what comes next. And Harley, oh my God, what happens to Harley in this? In a sense, not nothing bad, but just how she looks at Joker now, just really good stuff. This is excellent. If you're not, I implored you to get on Death of the Family. This looks like this is going to be one great event for Batman, for the Bat family, period. All right, so let's move on to Green Lantern, number Green Lantern Corps, number 13. This is, I think, part 2 of Rise of the Third Army. Peter Tomasi still does a good job in a sense, but as I always say, what do I always call the Guardians? Those blue-faced bastards. Oh my God, do they just sell Guy Gardner, John Stewart a load of crap. And basically, Guy is given a new position called a Green Lantern Sentinel. Then the Guardians say this about John, like they tell John is the only Lantern capable of doing what he's able to do and certain things like that. And all this was a freaking trap by the Guardians to set them up so they can take out, so their little white army can take out some of the lanterns. And does it end dire? Yes, it does. We do lose a couple of core members. I'm not going to spoil who that was, but just the Guardians are just a bunch of bastards, and they're. I'm hoping they die. They die, man. Something's got to come out of it. I'm sorry. They're they're dead to me. Even Ganthet is dead to me now, because he was the only one that actually I cared about as a Guardian, because he cared. Now he's one of them. There's no turning back for that. All right, so we move on to Grifter, number 13, Stormwatch Unleashed. So basically, this picks up right where issue 12 left off, where Cole battled Hellspawn. And he took Hellspawn to the limit, because now Cole has been able to use his telepathic, telekinetic powers, which they brought back lately. And so, but he needs a little bit more info. So what does Cole do? He goes to Star Labs. He sneaks into Star Labs. He uses their teleporter and teleports himself up to Stormwatch's headquarters. Up there in Stormwatch's headquarters, he needs some information, and he has a battle with not only Apollo, but also once again with Midnighter. But this time around, Cole was ready for Midnighter, because last time they fought, Midnighter pretty much beat the crap out of him, and Midnighter even said, "You're alive. I thought I killed you." And he's like, "Yeah, well, you didn't." And he said, "This time it's a new ball game." But did Cole succeed in what he needed to get? Yes, he did. But I was surprised to see Cole. Cole was using his head in terms of, you know, dealing with Apollo and Midnighter. He had a little help from Voodoo. Yeah, Voodoo does help him out in this book. But yeah, that's the basis of the book. You know, him going up to Stormwatch's headquarters and retrieving some info that he needed. Uh, but yeah, and that's a cool cover if you can see it. All right, so move on to the last DC book, the Ravagers, number 5. Fairchild at the mercy of Superboy. Don't let that cover fool you, people. That does not happen. Well, technically, it doesn't happen in terms of what you're thinking. Haramanki and Churchill still do a pretty decent job of telling the story of the kids that came out of the Ravagers. So basically, the kids kind of get like a little break. They got a place now where they can kind of just relax for a while instead of being on the run. Even though Fairchild doesn't really trust the guy that is putting up this place, that it's called the Arena. That there is that, like, it's a base far underground LA. Superboy is there as well, and he's talking to Fairchild about, look, I need to talk to you and everything like that. And she's really like, I don't have time to hear this crap. and the only way they can do it, talk it out really, is if they go mano a mano, let their fists talk instead while they listen. We also get a little incident in here with how the rest of the gang is dealing with Terra, Beast Boy, Thunder, and I'm forgetting y'all. How am I forgetting the other Ridge? I believe, yeah. They're dealing with just relaxing a little bit, just trying to they're not on the run. That's the whole basis of this. But since Thunder lost his sister Lightning, something's happening. Harvest put a failsafe into some of them, and it's activated with Thunder, and so they have to deal with it and try to help him with it, basically. So that was the basis of the book. Still good, um, but the kids have come to grips now that they have the power to do something with their abilities. They want to help. They want to make sure Harvest doesn't take any more teenage heroes, teenage metahumans like them, and alter them like like they tried to with them. The Hive tried to do with them. So they've come to realize that they got a purpose now, in a sense. All right. So we move on to the two independent books, and we'll kick it off with Valiant Comics, Deadshot #4. Bloodshot #4. I said Deadshot. Um, Dwayne Swazinski still does a very good job of telling the story of Bloodshot. Um, Incredible talent with this guy, with Bloodshot. He's still trying to figure out. Bloodshot is still trying to figure out who he is, but the project, the people that made him, that created him, basically are still trying to chase him, and they use another one of their kind of living weapons to stop him. She's like a human fibrillator, like she can shut down the nanites in him that gives him his abilities to heal from everything and to die. And basically, it's still a twist. Now he's got a little help from. At first, it was kind of a hostage, but then it's not, because she kind of has a little sympathy for him, and they also help out to get the other person that tried to kill her, Bloodshot, out of danger as well. But he realizes that the only way that I'm going to get some answers is go back to where it all began. So he suits up, getting all, getting arsenaled up and just ready to go and tackle what's gonna happen, what's gonna come. And yeah, but it was still fun. He even finally acknowledges that, look, I don't know my real name, but everybody calls me Bloodshot. But yeah, Valiant Comics has still been doing a very good job. I'm glad to see the back, and there's some things in store for Valiant Comics that have been coming out of New York Comic Con that I'm looking forward to seeing, including Shadow Man coming soon. So I'm looking forward to that. But Bloodshot #4, good stuff. All right, so move on to Dynamite Comics, and that is none other than. Oh, don't worry, guys. That's me, bro. Um, Dynamite Comics, Voltron Year One. Now, for all those who don't know what Voltron Year One is, this is the gang before Voltron. This is the story of Brandon Thomas telling story of before Sven and Keith and Pidge and Hunk and all of them got Voltron, what they used to be. They were called Space Squadron 686. So in this issue, basically, someone is trying to ruin Sven's reputation and trying to. This is the end of the fearless leader story arc that's been going on, and they're trying to ruin Sven because Sven has really been under a lot of stress. He's been taking a lot of, I believe, it's prescription drugs that are really messing with his head, and he's not sure if he can live up to being the squad leader anymore. And that's pretty much it. Things get very dire for the squad. Um, And for all those who don't know, if you remember, Sven was the pilot before Princess Allure became a part of the squadron. So Sven definitely is dealing with a lot of, you know, treachery and suspicion and everything like that. Who's setting them up? Things like that is getting really dire for Sven, and he doesn't know if he can deal with that. You know, it's really hurting him, and you can see the morale taking effect on him and the rest of the squadron. But yeah, it's still been good. Brandon Thomas still been doing a good job. I still salute him for doing a good job with one of my childhood heroes of Voltron. All right, so we move on to end it with Marvel. And first thing I want to show you guys is I got a free preview of some of the books that are coming out from Marvel now, and I got to read a couple of pages of some of the books. Pretty much all of them. You see here is they give us a little bit of Fantastic Four and Future Foundation. I looked through Fantastic Four, and Bagley's artwork still great, as you can see, but I'm not really sure. I might pick up the first issue of Fantastic Four. Not sure. Future Foundation and Iron Man. They show a little bit of Iron Man, and despite Land's artwork, I might pick up Iron Man, guys. I might. Especially like how Iron Man's new armor comes on. It's really cool. Um, I was really looking forward to this. What I was really looking forward to reading, and I got a good glimpse of it, and it was really good. So I'm looking forward to this. All new X-Men. Um, don't want to spoil too much, but it does have to do with an X-Men coming back to the past to get them. Not going to spoil who that is. Read a little bit of Cap. It's good, not bad. And of course, Indestructible Hulk looks good. Um, Thor, looking forward to this. Thor, God of Thunder. Looking forward to seeing what Aaron's does with Thor. Um, yeah, Deadpool's in this, but I didn't. I skipped this. I didn't read that. Um, and I skipped. I skipped X-Men Legacy. You know, they don't really. I'm not a big fan of, like I said, of Legion. Uh, it looks like the book that I'm also reading, Avengers. I haven't been reading. I haven't been reviewing it, but Avengers Assembled. A new creative team is taking over with Kelly Sue DeConnick and Stefano Castello. It will be taking over the book, and you get a kind of a glimpse at the artwork, things like that. It's good stuff. And of course, we're finally getting another female character with her own book. Red She-Hulk is taking over, and yeah. But other than that, yeah, this was a good thing I got. It was a free preview. Came with my they was giving it out. It's free. Took it. It's good stuff. All right. So let's kick off with the books. All right. So first up we have, this is the final story arc and the end of Bendis's run on Avengers. Avengers 31 end times. All right. So this story picks up almost nearly, in a sense, after what happened in Avengers versus X-Men. The Avengers, you can see like they're at Avengers Towers. People have some. They have a. They're having a little downtime. Like everybody's, like you see people just sleeping. You got Tony sleeping. You see Spider Girl and Hawkeye, actually Spider Woman and Hawkeye actually in bed together. Look like they've been, you know what? Wolverine is just laid out, a bunch of beer cans all over him. Spidey has this web hammock, just sleeping, and Cap is just watching TV, drinking coffee. All of a sudden, Wonder Man, Simon Wilson returns, and he's coming in and he's saying, "Hey Cap, you look tired." Cap's like, "Simon Wilson, what are you doing here?" And he's like, yeah, I'm tired. And he, Simon's just come by to like, look, apologize for everything he's done, you know. And Cap's like, you did this, you did that, you tried to destroy the mansion, you attacked us, everything. All of a sudden, here come Red Red Hulk Ross come and attack Simon. Now Simon didn't come here to fight, but Simon has to defend himself. He's defending himself, and you know what Simon does? He puts for all my wrestling fans out there, he puts a Cobra Clutch on Red Hulk and chokes him out. Just chokes him out. He's like, yeah, and everybody's just like, Simon beat Red Hulk, and it was funny. That was kind of funny though. But we also get a little glimpse of there's something going on in the microverse as well. So with somebody, so we don't know who it is. It could be some people. I'm got my suspicions who it is, but the one thing the person did show off is the Avengers card. So I'm wondering, is that who I think it is? And if you don't know who I'm thinking it is that Janet in the microverse? But anyway, um, a good start to Bendis's run of the Avengers. I will say this about Bendis. He took the Avengers and he started raising the bar with them. He did, and I will give him a lot of props for what he did with the Avengers. And he's been a long time Avengers writer, and his end is coming to an, not just on Avengers but also new Avengers. So yeah, this was fun. Oops, sorry. All right, so I picked up this. I was like, you know what? Let me just see what some of these consequences are that they're talking about. So I picked up Avengers Avengers versus X-Men Consequences. This is number 1. Kieran Gillen writes this, and basically we see some of the consequences, in a sense, what we see. So first of all, basically this is almost all about Scott. Scott is in jail. He's in an undisclosed jail. He's not on the raft. He's not on this. He's not. No, he's in an undisclosed jail where it's almost like privately owned, and it's just really bad. Um, you know, Wakanda has now waged war on Atlantis from basically no X-Men, including Storm, is allowed in Wakanda anymore. Wolverine tried to take the students to help out in Wakanda, and they shot at them. And Storm had to give them cover fire to get away. And Storm told Wolverine, if he catches me, I'm gonna be labeled a criminal. Um, and it's all because of kind of Scott. Those are the consequences of being, in a sense, those are the consequences of waving that flag with Scott, saying that you were part of his extinction team and things like that. And yeah, it's kind of bad. It was really sad to see that, because Storm wants to help. She wants to help with, the, she wants to help with helping Wakanda and the Black Panther and things like that. But they're not letting them. They're shooting at them pretty much. Uh, Cap is talking to Wolverine and telling him like, look, we need to find the rest of the people that were with Cyclops. You know, Wolverine, go there and talk to him. And Wolverine's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's not my call, Steve. Things like that. Because if I go there, I'm gonna kill him. Like he literally says, I'm on the verge of killing him. Um, it was really, this was really good. I was not, it wasn't that bad at all. But it does show off the consequences of, basically, for anybody that was with Cyclops, in a sense, of why, kind of, especially the Phoenix Five, it was not bad at all. And if you're a Cyclops fan, you are not gonna like just seeing how he is in this book, not at all. All right. Okay. One more issue to go before Brubaker's run comes to an end. Okay, we have Captain America number 18. Brubaker and Cullen Bunn are co-writing this. Scott Eaton does the artwork on this. Scott Eaton's artwork is pretty good. I've always said that. This is pretty much the end of the Endgame story arc with the Queen Hydra and her husband, uh, Agent Bravo, and the Discordians. Uh, Bottom line is Cap still Caps does his thing pretty much, saves the day. I'm just gonna say that right now. I love the fight once again, continuing the fight between uh, uh, Baron Zemo and Sharon Carter. Sharon Carter was able to defeat Zemo. She choked him out. It was kind of cool. And exploded their space station that was up in space that was giving the signal that was feeding all over America and giving the fear of what's kind of what the government is hiding from us and things like that. But other than that, it was just still a good story. Brubaker is still no slouch with Cap. Does a good job, and I'm gonna miss him on Cap. But I know he wants to go to do more independent work, and I'm all for doing more independent work, especially if you have more free will and time and things like that. But I'll keep following you, Mr. Brubaker, wherever you go in terms of whether it's independent or you're back wherever. But I'll still be following you. Good stuff. All right, this definitely was kind of hurtful because for a so-called final issue, this was not that good, and I totally agree with my mentor on this. Jonathan Hickman, you could do better than this, Mr. Hickman. I know you can do better. And Fantastic Four 611, supposedly a final issue. Like Gavi said, how many times have we seen that before? Final issue. The bottom line is read the older Valeria and Reed's father go to find Doom, go to save Doom from where he is, and that's pretty much it. And I was just really kind of like, it left me like, huh, that's it, that's it. Like I thought something better than that. It was just kind of bothered me a little bit. Like I said, if you liked it, fine, but to me, I was a little bit disappointed because I know Hickman could do much better than this. I know he can do much better than this. But in terms of not just this, but in terms of his run on Fantastic Four, good job. Um, it's gonna be very hard. I'm gonna say this right now. It's gonna be very hard for Fraction to deliver the same as Hickman did on Fantastic Four. It's just like you sub it in some top notch star for a rookie that hasn't even been you know out there, and Fraction, you know just worried that he better bring his A game. That's all I'm saying, because if not, people are gonna just bash it and be like, you know hey, you didn't do a good job. But yeah, I was disappointed with that. But I'll tell you what I wasn't disappointed with, and that's Scarlet Spider 10. Trish Yoshин still does a great job. This is part 2 of Minimum Carnage. This was great. So Kane and Flash meet. Kane is like, he's just like, I'm gonna kill this guy. He's just cursing like a sailor, just like Gavi said. And Flash is like, look, we need to deal with Carnage and his uh his cohorts that are from the microverse. I think they're from the microverse too. Um, and get back the person that Carnage has a hostage. And Kane is like, screw that. That ain't my problem. Screw that. Fuck you. Go do it yourself. Everything like that. And Venom's Flash is like, it's our responsibility. And he's like, there go that word again. Like, there's that word again. I don't need to hear that, and things like that. And Venom at one point, Flash loses control of the symbiote one time and just goes on a rampage until he's able to get it under control. But it's still just funny hearing anytime someone says responsibility, Kane just flips out like, there's that word again, responsibility. Oh, it's like, oh my God. Like, but they was like, look, okay, let's do it. Let's go do this. So they enter the microverse. And we're gonna see what part 3 picks up in Venom. So, but yeah, another good book. Um, you know, they just been really good together. That book is still just fun. It's just really fun. All right. Uh, Secret Avengers number 32. Rick Remender still doing a very good job with this book. This ends the story with the Shadow Council and everything like that, and it's about to get into something bigger. Um, Bottom line is, Secret Avengers saved the day, but nobody's gonna know about it. However, however, Black Widow knows that Eric O'Grady, Ant-Man, is not who he says he is. He's actually a LMD. I'm spoiling this for you. Eric O'Grady was killed in a previous mission, and then he came back, and like nothing ever happened. Also, it seems that finally Flash and Valkyrie have hooked up. Yeah, she basically is like, look, this mortal courtship sucks. I know you feel it. I feel it too. Let's just do it. And I'm just gonna take it. And she just takes Flash and was like, come here, like literally, come here. And they get it on, especially at the end of the book. It was kind of cool. It's like, go Flash, you know. Kind of look. He rebound from Betty Brant. Now he's with a goddess in a sense, Valkyrie. But definitely it's still with Eric O'Grady, and now I think he's calling himself Black Ant now, because he's dealing with the father who created all the androids and stuff in the previous thing. But Widow is more like, look, if you won't believe me, I'm not gonna be here when it blows up in your face. So kind of bad, yeah. But yeah, definitely good stuff. Secret Avengers. I think this is the only Avengers book that is not being renumbered, actually. All right, now, yeah, now this is probably what some of you guys been waiting to hear. What did I think of the first book that came out of Marvel now? Uh, uh, yeah, Uncanny Avengers, Rick Remender, John Cassaday. I've always liked John Cassaday's artwork. This was excellent. Man, this was good. All right, let me give you some of the key moments in here. First off, we finally get a confrontation with the Summers brothers. Finally, that we should have gotten in the Avengers, the series, in the event. Alex goes to see Cyclops, and after Wolverine gives this really, really gritty and real eulogy speech, where he literally comes out and says to all the X-Men, he's like, he's not saying Charles, he's still calling him Chuck, as he's always done. Basically saying, look, Chuck had a dream. We failed. We failed at accomplishing that dream. That's literally what Wolverine came out and said. He literally comes out and says, and you know what? I definitely agree with what Gabi said. It could only have been done by Wolverine to be that real and be that honest and say, look, we failed. We failed at delivering Charles Xavier's dream of a peaceful coexistence between humans and mutants. But back to Havoc and Scott. Man, you talk about little brother one-upping older brother. Yes. Um, and I totally agree with Havoc in this. What he said literally was that. Matter of fact, let me just read that panel because that was a good panel right there of what he says to Cyclops. All right, all right. So basically, it starts with Havoc right here, as you see at the bottom, right here, saying, "We buried Charles today," and no expression, no kind of remorse for Scott. Look at the top panel. He's just like, and then we get kind of a flashback between Professor Xavier talking to Scott, right? He says, now this is Alex talking. He says, watching the Phoenix erode Jean wasn't enough of an indicator for you, brother. You had to march the X-Men out to double check. Literally saying that watching Jean, watching this entity nearly just kill your ex-wife, your wasn't enough. So you had to do it again, literally. So Alex says, why? In case you missed something the first time around. And here's Cyclops. I didn't see you raise your hand when we needed a leader. Alex says, I wasn't the one they put the faith in. Cyclops says, still easy to show up and criticize after the battle. Someone had to set things right. The professor wasn't doing things. What the professor's way wasn't doing things. Sure, the old hippie idolist couldn't get the job done. Brute force could. That's what Alex says. Like, peaceful coexistence didn't work, so brute force is how you're going to get it right. He says, where have I heard that before? That's Alex talking. So Cyclops says, new mutants have begun to appear, Alex. Alex says, look, this wasn't about more mutants. This was about you. You couldn't go down as the guy who let the home team lose on his watch. So you gave up a coexistent with humans, created a mutant army on Magneto's island. However, how else could that have ended? Pretty much. He also goes on to say, you completely disregarded everything Xavier stood for. And here's Cyclops. I spent my entire life fighting for Professor Xavier's dream, Alex. I learned better. Alex replies. And this was the part that I was just like, you didn't learn anything. You forgot everything Charles taught you, and then you killed him. You cannot sum that up any better than how Havoc summed that up. And basically after that, it's basically, Cap and Thor approach Havoc, and they talk to him at the Avengers mansion about, you know, uh, creating the new team and him leading it, everything like that. And then they get into a fight kind of with Avalanche, not just throwing little things around there. And we don't know why Avalanche is doing this. We also get a confrontation between Scarlet Witch and um, Rogue, and they go at it for a while until some individuals come and deal with them. Because Wanda was just paying her respects to Charles Xavier's grave, and then it's just the ending, which I'm not gonna spoil. Oh my God, this just got me now very much invested into where this is gonna go now. This was so good. This was the best out of the Marvel books, in my opinion. Um, Uncanny Avengers. I was looking forward to this, and if they keep the team this low, it's not that bad. But if they add maybe two more members, that'd be cool. Another Avenger and another X-Men, that'd be great. I have a feeling it might not be just this team, but Havoc leading it. Havoc is my favorite of the Summers brothers, and I'm looking forward to seeing, because he can lead, he has good leadership skills, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Havoc does um, with leading this group. Definitely good stuff, and even good stuff as well. Still in the X-Men realm is none other than Wolverine and the X-Men. Number This is 18. Aaron's still is no slouch. Um, don't let that cover fool you. That doesn't happen. Bottom line is, we get a couple of things that happen in it. Kitty decides to give. They have their first like school dance. Kind of get their minds off of what's going on now. This kind of takes place in between issue 12 and after, in a sense. Um, of round 12 of Avengers vs. X-Men. Basically, a faculty member is she, well, I wouldn't say Kitty fired her, but she let herself go. Um, Husk quit the school because Kitty's like, something is wrong with you, and we don't know what it is, but she won't acknowledge it. Like, she's watching. Well, she don't even watch, but we see that Kitty, Husk Paige is doing her, doing a lecture in her class, and then the fight breaks out, and she doesn't like even stop it. She's just like, okay, kids, stop fighting. Not even looking at them. Um, but this was just really good. But it's the ending that really, like, Aaron's, please don't tell me you did this. Uh, I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but something happens. Something happens in the end with a member, a student. I'm not gonna spoil who that student is because of the Hellfire Club, and it just ends very dire. And I was just like, oh no. But glad we're getting to the second year, for the second year. So it starts off kind of with who's going to be the new teacher and everything like that. I saw a picture of them. I saw Puck, Sasquatch, Ghost Rider, Blade. I'm like, okay, those don't seem like good choices, but yeah, I'm glad to know that this is the second book term is coming for Wolverine and X-Men. It's been really good. Uh, but yeah, it's that ending, guys. That just, come on. But other than that, guys, that's it. Like I said, it was a good run this week. Very good run. I will see you guys next week, God willing, as always, with the next review. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook. I'm always around on, here on the channels. You know, um, subscribe, as well as subscribe to my mentor, Blue Goblin. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. That's, you know. But other than that, Small Burn Kid, peace. Well, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. I will see you guys next week. Ta-ta for now.